Hi everyone, I'm Rai.
And I'm Marco, and today we're going to be talking about water scarcity.
What it is, why it happens, and what we can do to help.
Water scarcity happens when there isn't enough clean water for people to use.
Usually, it's because the demand for water is greater than the amount available. When water is scarce, it doesn't just affect people, it also affects ecosystems that depend on water, like rivers, wetlands, and forests. There are a few reasons why water scarcity starts. One is when pipes and water systems are old, broken, or missing.
Governments might not be able to manage water fairly or efficiently, and when populations grow or the economy grows, more water gets used.
Also, climate change is a big problem. It makes water less predictable, and we lose storage in things like snow, soil, and ice. This also harms natural habitats because animals and plants are not adapted to these quick changes.
Water scarcity is a global issue, but it's especially bad in places like Africa.
And usually, it's poor or marginalized communities who suffer the most because they have fewer resources. But wildlife suffers too. When water disappears, entire ecosystems collapse, and biodiversity goes down. One way to deal with water scarcity is the dams and reservoirs. These are man-made lakes that store water during rainy seasons.
They help cities and even make electricity, but they can also harm ecosystems, block fish migration, and cause fights over water between states and countries.
Also, dams change natural water flow, which can reduce the number of species that live in rivers and hurt the balance of the food web.
Another solution is rainwater harvesting. This means collecting rain before it hits the ground.
Big buildings can use complex systems, but regular people can use simple rain barrels at home to save water for gardens. It's a smart way to support both human needs and plant life without harming natural sources. Aqueducts move water from places with lots of it to places that need it.
But they can cause conflicts. For example, Owens Lake in California dried up because water was sent to Los Angeles, creating dust pollution.
When lakes or rivers dry out, the animals and plants that live there often can't survive. This reduces ecological health and can often lead to species extinction.
Another way to get water is desalination, which removes salt from seawater.
It's helpful because there's so much seawater, but it's expensive. It uses a lot of energy and creates salty waste that can hurt the environment.
If the salty water isn't handled properly, it can damage marine ecosystems, especially those near the shore.
There are also ways to save water at home. These include turning off the tap while brushing your teeth, taking shorter showers, using water-saving toilets and washers, and fixing leaks.
And did you know that eating less beef and more eggs or vegetables saves water too? Beef uses way more water to produce and also contributes more to climate change, which makes water scarcity worse. In dry places, people should plant drought tolerant native plants and water their gardens early in the morning.
Drip irrigation systems help avoid wasting water. And on farms, techniques like no-till farming and planting in rainy areas can save a lot of water.
Farming that uses less water also supports soil health and helps protect the surrounding ecosystem.
Some people think that bottled water is the answer, but it's not a good long-term solution.
It's often not safer than tap water in the US. It's 700 times more expensive, and it creates a ton of plastic waste.
Plastic bottles often end up in nature, where they can harm wildlife and pollute ecosystems. If you don't like tap water, it's better to use a filter instead. From big projects like dams to small actions like turning off the tap, we can all protect water and ecosystems that depend on it.
Thank you for listening.